All right, welcome everybody to another week of draft previews. I'm happy to be back after a week off. You did a great job, Sean, filling in last week, and I'm looking forward to see last year's third place finishers previewed today.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see the top three finishes, what their teams look like they're going to be for next year, what their keepers are, what picks they have, and honestly, I think these two kind of surprised me on like the picks they have left.
Yeah, Dusan, Subotica Spartans. I mean, a guy I said to be aware of when he came into the league, second year in, already a top three finish. And, you can see here, looking career all time, 14 and 12, 16th all time, clearly just 14 wins is 16th all time. But you can see only 2 years in the league, already 2 trophies, a division title. And I think this owner is going to be a scary one moving forward.
Yeah, I mean he's the second owner. I think in the last couple of ones we talked about that 2 years in, they're already making the playoffs. You're already looking at the trophies. So definitely, the new owners are definitely stepping up, and they're definitely showing that they're supposed to be here.
Totally agree with you there.
But yeah, just a quick look. He's won playoffs. He has that one playoff experience. So obviously, last year he won the one game, lost the second game. He has those 2 trophies, 1 divisional title. His win percentage is 0.538 all time. And he does play in that international division, which as you know, I usually give a hard time to, but I mean, they show every year in and year out that they're definitely worthy of being here.
Yeah, I agree. And that one playoff win last year was against Joshua and Life's the Mitch. If you remember, Joshua still put up a ton of points, but Dusan had a career game and took him down, and I think took out the favorite, really.
Yeah, I mean, they were 1-2 the week one, and the week one of the playoffs, and and if he would have not beat Joshua, Joshua probably won. Well, he would have lost to Houston in the playoffs, but it would have been close.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
And as you say, his last year's third place finish is his best finish as well. Looking at his previous rankings, as you said, he likes to miss. He does play on week one. They're 1-1 against. And then Subotica, he's 3-0 against. So, I mean, that's a divisional opponent right there. Too good for name. He's 2-1 against. But then there's a couple teams where he doesn't have a win against: Deuce Bombers, Green Lightning, Fighting Geese. And then again, he's 1-1 against Templars, and 2-0 against 12th Man, and 1-0 against BC Lions.
Yeah, he's got 4 games too this year that he's never played that person, myself included, along with Chris and True North, an original owner. Ultimus Prime, new owner, is in his division, so of course he gets him, and then of course Brandon and the Architect with that loaded roster. So it'll be interesting to see how Subotica does, and Dusan. I'm sure with that 3-week stretch where he's winless against those teams, he'll want to turn that around for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say that these are one of those people. Well, he would one of those people who's definitely not benefiting against the good record. The third place finish. He's playing the harder teams. But then looking at his records against the teams in his division, I'm not sure he actually wants to play his division either. So I think it's going to be a tough schedule for him.
As it should be for a third place team. And
sure.
See, here, look at the keepers. He's running back heavy. What do you think about going with that strategy, Sean?
I love running back heavy teams. I think it's the correct strategy. I mean, Damian Harris, that's the only iffy one for me on that list. But Akers, Carson, Dillon, I think is a nice strategy there with Fuller. I mean, I think it's perfect. I think more teams should definitely go this route.
Yeah, I think looking at Carson's workout videos, man, the guy looks jacked this year. But the thing is, I think there's still a lot of risk with the keepers that he has. But I know Dusan took over a shit pile of a team last year, and he's been doing the best he can with the roster that he has, and obviously got Cam Akers, AJ Dillon, 2 rookie running backs to try to build that roster for the future.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at his picks, I mean, as we kind of talked about, the last couple of teams, they haven't really traded away their picks. And surprisingly, he actually has 2 4th-round picks. So he has his 18th overall pick, and every other round he has a pick, and there's 2 in the 4th. Looking at the middle picks is kind of where he's missing some picks. He's missing his 11th, 14th, 15th. But he also has 2 picks in the 16th, 18th, and the 19th round. So I mean, he's built for success, though. I mean, he has the shot to have a solid team. I think you're kind of right, though. His running backs could be a higher tier up, but I think he has those picks to complement them and put up a pretty good product week in and week out.
I totally agree with you. I think Dusan is going to challenge for that international division title again. He's the reigning champ, and that extra fourth round he got was from me in the Mike Davis trade. So I think Dusan's one of the best, if not the best, playoff team in the best draft pick scenario. I'd say him right there with Life's a Mitch, and I can't wait to see that matchup week 1. I think it's going to be a beauty.
Oh, I agree with you there. Now switching over to Dynasty, we got a Ming division. We got Curly Lambeaugini. The draft didn't hurt him apparently.
I think he was one of those teams that ended up getting defenses and stuff early on because of the draft issues, but clearly it didn't hurt him. We got a third place finish.
Yeah, exactly. You know, his career 15-11 last year, went 8-5, finished third place. That's a good percentage of 0.577. I mean, you can't ask for much. I think he's one of those teams that kind of rebounded after the first season. He was, what is that? 7-6. Week one, season 1. Now he's going in the right direction.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Think about Curly Lambeaugini, though. He's made the playoffs. I mean, Dynasty 2 years in existence, and he's made the playoffs 2 years in existence. And not too many teams could say that, and he can. And obviously, he's going to rely on Kyler Murray here to lead his team at quarterback for the future. The thing is for Curly, though, looking at his keepers, he doesn't have the second quarterback, which we know in a 2-quarterback league can be an issue. I think the strength of his team clearly is at wide receiver. Your thoughts?
100% is the wide receiver. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's wide receiver 2 or 3. Lockett, Shark, Adams. I mean, Adams could be injured. It could hurt. His value could be hurt with Rodgers, depending on what he does. But I mean, his wide receiver core is crazy good there. His running backs, though, they don't scare me. And I believe he picks 14th. It's kind of like a toss-up. Does he go quarterback at 14? Does he try to get a running back there? And his tight ends are iffy as well. I mean, let's be honest, Pitts is not going to be there. I can't remember the guy's name from Penn State. He might not be there at 14. Or he's definitely not going to be there at 28, something like that. So, or 30. So yeah, I don't know what he's going to do. I like his IDPs though. I'm not going to lie there. I mean, they're not the world's best IDPs, but they're definitely playoff caliber team IDPs.
Yeah, for sure. And to hype up the mock draft, you're absolutely right. Him picking at 14, because he's so good at wide receiver. All the mocks I've been running for Dynasty, he's in a pickle because really the best person to pick is a wide receiver at that point. So, unless he goes Mac Jones or a quarterback late in the first round, that's a possibility for the future. But I think pick 14 is a tough one for him this year.
Yeah, honestly, if I was running his team, I would definitely be looking to trade up. I mean, trade one of your 500 wide receivers and 14th overall, or unless you're getting rid of, Hill or Adams, which I personally want to do, trade up. Try to, get, call up your brother, and say, hey, what can I, what would be the trade for third overall? I would try to move back. I mean, honestly, move back and maybe pick up a running back there. You're right. He's in a pickle, and I think he needs to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then talking about his pick, he has 14th. He picks 30th, and then 42nd. He doesn't have a 4th round pick, and he has 2 8th round picks. So he has those picks. I mean, I don't see a Herbert this year where Herbert went the second to last pick in the draft. Personally, unless Mac Jones falls, like ridiculously falls, which I personally don't see this year. So I think everybody learned their lesson last year with Herbert. I don't know I don't think he's going to get a quarterback at 5 or even 3. So he might have to use one of his top 2 picks on a quarterback. And I guess 14th would be the best spot for it. But again, I would trade back or trade up.
Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, at 14th, you're either taking a risk on a guy like Mac Jones, or you can't pick a guy like Jameis Winston or those other bum starters that are available at 14. So if you trade it down, you might get a roster player at running back or some depth at running back or even a better IDP. You're right. He's got a lot of options. And I think for spend, he just hopes he can actually have a draft where he doesn't have connectivity issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's step one, I guess, and actually drafting some players there. But yeah, I agree. I mean, he definitely should look into trading, but he's a good owner though. So So I mean, when he does make the drafts or waiver wire, he's pretty good, as we can see. He finished third, so he has talent.
No doubt about it. So next week, I'm super excited. We're going to feature our second place teams. In Dynasty, Kristen No More, the people's champ, the original champ. We said, was this guy for real? Because obviously he came on late in the year. Matthew picked that team, but he proved himself coming back with the second place finish last year. And then we also have Lucas in Green Lightning. I think he has the most top 3 finishes in LOC history. He's been a consistent owner. I can't wait to feature those teams next week, and we're getting closer to training camp.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited for those two. I mean, and then obviously the week after that, talking about you would be great because I can bash on you even though you won. But I mean, the last 4 owners we're going to talk about for Dynasty, I mean, they're all LOC players that I'd love to see them in the LOC. So I'm definitely excited to talk about the next 2 and the last 2 we just talked about.
Absolutely. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and can't wait to see you next week.
See you, buddy. Bye.